What's up guys, there's Cousin here. Welcome back to another video, and in this one I want to talk about Habit Slayer, which is my RPG habit tracker app, which I actually talked about previously on the channel but didn't in a while. So I think that it's due that we have a little catch up. So a couple of months ago on this channel, I was primarily talking about this app right here, right? So this is my RPG habit tracker. It's basically an app where you can like have your habits, have your to-dos, anything that you want to improve. And instead of just doing those for the sake of doing them, you get a character, you can level him up, you get to defeat monsters, and it basically gamifies this entire process. And for a while, I was working on this full-time and documenting the journey here on this channel. So the last time that we were talking about Habit Slayer, things were not looking good at all. I basically had no real users, and even worse, I had no revenue. But since then, in these 2 months when I basically took a break because I burnt out and I didn't really see a future for this application, things have been happening. So if you look here on this chart over here, this is my daily active users. This is how many users are actually using the app every single day. You can clearly see here there is an upward trend of users actually using the app. I did nothing to cause this at all. I did no marketing. I didn't do any development whatsoever. This has been completely happening organically while I've been working on Alden Idle. And this is really interesting because if you look here, the amount of new users coming into the app, this is this chart over here, is basically averaging around 20, and often not, it's actually more than 20 on a given day, which is really cool for the fact that I've been pretty much doing nothing. Now, what's even more interesting is if I go here to the actual revenue of the application, which is of course important because you not only want to have users, but you actually want to have revenue as well. The last time that we talked about revenue of Habit Slayer, it was atrocious. I basically only made, I think it was $6 at the time of recording, which was very sad. Now things are much different. In the last 28 days over here, you can see that I made $200. That is an insane amount of money for the fact that I did nothing on this app to make that money. You can see here my monthly recurring revenue is at $62. This is the highest that it's ever been. I have 21 active subscriptions and 9 active trials, and I have 845 new customers coming into the app in the last 28 days. These are much better numbers than I had before, and I'm very happy with this, and also very exciting because it means that there's potential for Habit Slayer. But here's the thing, there's actually more to this story. If I go back here to the actual charts over here, what I didn't tell you about this line over here is that this is Android. So this daily active users here is broken down by operating system. So here you can see that Android is clearly a winner. I basically have organic users coming in from Android, and I unfortunately don't have that many on iOS. If anything, there's a downward trend on iOS, which is this purple line over here. So this to me kind of signifies two things. One's good and one's bad. The good thing is that there's actually people coming to the app organically without me doing anything, which means that there are people that like to use the app, they're getting value from it, and they're also paying for the app. This is even better considering the fact that most of those are Android users. The bad part is that them being Android users, they're less likely to actually spend money, even though they did on my app, than iOS users. Generally, Android users spend less and convert less than iOS users, so even though I have growth over here, I would really love to see that growth on the iOS side. But then if we come here to this chart over here, this one tells us a little bit more about what is actually going on. So this is the paywall conversion chart over here, and this one essentially tracks how many people have seen the paywall and how many of those have actually converted to purchase. One thing to note here is that this over here includes all of the free trials, because there's no way for you to actually get a subscription without first getting a free trial, and only a subset of the ones that convert here actually do end up converting for real to actually pay money to use the app. But still, it doesn't matter because the numbers are still there. So my general conversion of the people that open the paywall and then purchase is 3%, which is actually higher than the average for the apps, at least based on some statistics that I've seen from other apps. So that's a very good sign. But this is also broken down by operating system so that I can see the difference between iOS and Android. So if you look here at Android, you're going to see that this is converting at 2.30%, which is actually lower than the 3% over here. iOS, on the other hand, is converting at 8.57%. That's more than 4 times the amount that Android users are, which is insane, right? And this really goes to show you that Android users convert less and they also end up spending less. So all of this revenue over here, these $200 in the last 28 days, this is pretty much all Android. You can look here and you can see all of my transactions. Most of them are from the Play Store. Now, I do also have some iOS transactions as well, even though I have way less iOS users than I do have Android, because they convert well, right? It kind of makes up for it at least a little bit. I still would like to see more iOS users, but you get the idea. All of this amount over here was only purely from Android, which I'm very proud of. So where does that leave me and Habits Layer? Because remember, I haven't touched this application in 2 months. Well, I think that these numbers here have once again proven that there's users that actually want to use the app and also want to pay the app, and that it's worth it to actually start putting in some work to maybe optimize things a little bit to make more money. Because if you think about it, if all of this revenue over here, all of these subscriptions and all of that was actually from iOS users, I would have made way more than $200. I would have been way closer to $1,000 in the last 20 days, which is insane, right? And so I think that it's worth it for me to actually start spending a little bit of time, right? A little bit of effort to try to get at least even closer to that. So that's my plan with Habits Layer. I've actually started to work on it already. I've started to actually build some features and stuff like that, right? And I'm going to put in some hours a week to try to make this. I'm also going to try to market this application too, to hopefully get more users to it, and hopefully also try to target iOS users specifically. And then there's another metric that I want to optimize, because it's not enough to get users and to also get them to pay, but I also want them to keep using the app, right? Because this app is going to make you a better person. It's going to make you more productive. And I want you to enjoy using the app. So it's my responsibility as a developer to make sure that you have the least friction possible for you to be able to enjoy everything that the app has to offer. And that, for the most part, is best represented by your retention rate. So over here, I have my day 7 retention rate, so the first week essentially. And you can see here how many people are still using the app X amount of days after coming into the app. So for day 1, it's 18%. So 18% of people that actually get on the app are still using it the next day. And then it goes on all the way to day 7, which is currently sitting at 9.3%. This is actually a little bit worse than it was just a couple months ago. I'm not entirely sure why, because I didn't change anything in the app. And these numbers, generally, I want to see them a little bit higher, specifically this day 7 retention, because that's the one that kind of really matters, right? After a week, are you still using the app? Are you still doing your habits? If you're not, it means that I have work to do on the app to make it more likely that you do so. And generally, you want to see numbers here for day 7 closer to 20%, and ideally 30%, or even maybe higher than that if your app is really, really good, right? So 9.3% is a little bit on the lower side, and I have a lot of work to actually do to nudge that a little bit higher. So yeah, that's my plan, right? Start working on this, build more features, improve retention, try to do a little bit more marketing. This video here is part of that marketing as well. Try to talk about this alongside Alden Idle, which I haven't forgot about, and I'm actually working full-time on this currently right now, just because I love it so much. And I will talk about that in another devlog, because there has been updates here as well, and we're going to see how it goes, and I will definitely keep you updated. So there you go. That's my update for Habits Layer. Leave me a comment down below before you leave. Let me know what you think about this, if you have any ideas of things that I can do or add to this app to make it better. And also, if you're using the app, let me know if you have any features that you want me to add to the app, because I'm all ears, right? Let's make this app better for everyone and hopefully improve the experience for you guys using the app, and also for me, the developer of the app. So thank you so much for watching. My name has been Darius Kozin, and I will catch you in the next devlog. Ciao, ciao.